Hey, what up, it's your boy Nick. So, Furnal Equinox 2023 saw some harrowing events that certainly left congoers a more than uncomfortable time. So a man adorned in only a robe went out on the dance floor, and over the course of several minutes he decided to dance fully naked at the Furry Convention, something that generally doesn't happen and legitimately is an act of public indecent exposure. This was talked about all over Twitter, and the reception was weirdly mixed and actually fairly underwhelming considering the large amounts of vitriol we normally see come from even mundane events. Some pointed to the fact that he's conventionally attractive, and that may have led to some people not being as harsh on the man that literally openly exposed himself to a group of unwilling participants at the event. Now, there are some even saying that this was an 18+ space and that this was to be expected, some even using it as ammunition to bash the puphood community considering that he is a pup. By which logic, you could just say this man is a representation of all furries if you want to paint with broad strokes. I cannot stress enough how deplorable these actions were, and yet how quickly some of the community was to dismiss the actions on the grounds that people in an 18+ space should have fully expected a full-grown naked man to dance near them. Some even attested that this is because he was under the influence of drugs or alcohol, which again is no excuse, and it later came out that he was fully cognizant of his actions and did it for attention. Adults should feel allowed to be comfortable in spaces that they can express themselves, and the attire that is permitted is one that they consented to, but being butt-ass naked was not one of them. This man essentially committed sexual assault, and I mean that with full certainty, because he did proceed to touch con staff, which is unwanted sexual interaction. Like, imagine being that volunteer, and suddenly you have to escort a man with his frickin' Sunday bests out. If I were at Furry Equinox, I'm not saying that I would boycott the convention altogether. This is obviously an outlier. It's just, I know that that would be a situation in which I would very much have that fear in the back of my mind whenever I did enter an 18+ space. No one should have the fear that randomly going through the adult dealer's den even, that someone could just strip down naked and start walking down the hallway. I usually feel safer going to 18+ events. 18+ does not mean NSFW. It never has. 18+ just means that legally everyone here is an adult. NSFW is different. That is being sexual, that is being provocative. Being an adult doesn't automatically mean that guns and violence and sex and drugs. It just means that you're older and you're expected to be more mature. Now, while Furnal Equinox put out a statement, generally conventions cannot say whether or not they are banning specific people. That's kind of against their rules. I think it's very fair to say that not only should Furry Equinox ban this person, they should also tell other conventions to ban this person. The furry community is very small and close-knit. If someone commits literal sexual assault at a convention like this, I do think it's fair to circumvent general rules to say, hey, let's keep the community safe. He did this fully cognizant of his own actions. He did this sober. That is the worrisome part. He did this with full knowledge of what he was doing. How socially inept and unaware do you have to be to do something like that? It's ridiculous to me. Hey you, ad break. Guess who's sponsoring this video? It's me. I got really cool shirts, and they're handmade, they're sustainable, and we also have inclusive sizes all the way up to 4XL and long and tall, which is super cool. So honestly, if you could support, like, that'd be super cool, and you also get like the best shirt you've ever had in your whole life. We just restocked the Baphomet shirts, which are double-sided. I ship them with love. So if you guys could support, that would be more than amazing. I'm going to start filling up the shop with a lot of other little goodies and stuff, including fandom figurines. But back to the video. There was another event that did happen at Furry Equinox that was exceedingly unfortunate, but out of respect for the convention's wishes, I won't be disclosing the specific events that caused an evacuation. So when it comes to social media, there is a certain obligation to portray events accurately, but at the same time, you do have the ability to accidentally cause hysteria through furry conventions, and coverage of it could inspire more unfortunate acts. However, talking about the latter event, which Furry Equinox did put a public statement on, might accidentally inspire more negative events similar to that. And accidentally inspiring bad actors is an unfortunate part of being a content creator that you do have to kind of address when you make videos. And remind the audience not only of what happened, why it's bad, but also give the audience kind of a way to feel more in control. Most of the audience, you feel this kind of weight. So sooner than that, I want to take a moment to remind people I love the furry fandom, and that this event is not a reflection of that. I cannot stress this enough. Conventions are full of thousands of individuals, and the idea that small dramas or large events will not happen is so unlikely. But portraying a single outlier event not only serves to cannibalize our own community, reminding everyone that these actions are not now or ever okay is crucial to keeping the respect of our fandom within our fandom. So don't stress about outsiders. Do not put outside perception above the needs of your own community. Please don't throw the pup mask NSFW side under the bus just to distance yourself from the stigma, because furries are supposed to support furries. As a fandom, we fight to keep paraphiles out and bring spotlight to situations that need it. We constantly have reevaluations on what is and is not okay. Not to rehash drama, even though it probably feels like that a lot of times. So as exhausting as the furry wheel of drama is, I want to remind you guys, it's crucial to keeping this fandom what it is. What starts out as one take on Twitter often becomes a collective of voices about what is and is acceptable, and having that discussion. When someone starts the puphood drama, generally it usually ends with people reminding each other, pups are okay. The NSFW side is generally harmless. There are always going to be bad actors wherever you are, and it's important to fight that. But having that discussion is the only way we continue, especially as the fandom continues to grow. I will always be proud to be a furry because I'm surrounded by people that value artists and protect BIPOC members, and it makes people feel safe to express themselves. Outsiders will always see us as carpet-wearing weirdos, but I know last year we raised nearly $1 million for charity, and that is an incredible act of generosity from such a niche community. But either way, I wanted this video just to kind of talk about what happened and why we might not get a statement from Furry Equinox. I don't want to put Effie in an uncomfortable position if they are not able to make a statement on it. I just generally, truly do hope that this man never attends another furry convention. That is deplorable. The fact that he did this to people who were not consenting. I understand that people might see this as a very harsh opinion, but I don't. While I won't be name dropping him here or anything like that, he knows who he is. And I genuinely think that he is currently up there for the least self-aware person awards for this year. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking of making a video of just like who's the least self-aware in the fandom, like having like a little award show at the end of the year. I think that would be interesting. John Fox is definitely up there, pizza guy. But either way, I just wanted to talk about the situation. I thought it was unfortunate, but also very interesting. I do wish the best for Furry Equinox. They had a groundbreaking year when it came to attendance, and I'm very happy that we are continuing to grow as a fandom. I know FE is going to make any decision that they can that's going to keep its members safe as much as possible, so I have no doubt about that. I just do hope it includes banning this guy. That being said, my name is Nick, and remember, keep it simple.